So this video is a review of functions, what they are, and how to identify them given different representations. So the proper definition is a function is a relation between two sets of values. Those sets are called the domain and range, where each element of the domain is associated with exactly one element of the range. Okay, so now the domain is the set of all x values, right? The domain is all the x values, and the range is the set of all y values, okay? So basically, in essence, this means each x value goes to or pairs with only one y value. All right, that's important. Y value. All right, sorry, I'm writing this with a mouse. It's a little harder. Okay, so to test whether a relation is a function, there's two main ways. Given ordered pairs, now there's different ways to present ordered pairs, as we'll see. If we see x values repeated, right? So if you see, two 2's that are x's, or two 7's, or it could be more than two. But if it's used more than once, an x value, then it's not a function, because those multiple x values are going then to multiple y values, right? And as the rule goes, each x is supposed to go to just one y value. And then also we can, with graphs, it's still the same rule. We still only need to have one y value for every x value. But with graphs, with the visual, it's kind of nice. We can take any vertical line. So take some vertical line here, and you can use a pencil. And if you just drag it along the graph, it should only intersect the graph once at any moment, no more than once. Right? If it crosses the graph two or more times at any one line, any one position, then it is not a function. All right, let's see a couple examples. So determine whether the following are functions. So here, these are a set of ordered pairs. So if you remember, I'll underline in red all the x values, right? And then in green, I'll underline all the y values. So we're looking to see that each x value goes to one y value. So 5 goes to just -2. That's 1. I don't see 5 being reused at all. 3 just goes to -5. 2 just goes to -5. 0 goes to -2. And -1 goes to -3. Now, some people might wonder right here, oh, hey, I see two -5s. But remember, those are y values. It's okay to have the same y value used more than once, but not the same x value. So this is yes. Okay, it's a function. Okay. All right, over here, same thing. X's, let's focus on those. And Y's in green. All right, so let's take a look. If I look carefully, I see that 2 goes to -4, but it also goes to +4. So that's saying that the x value of 2 pairs with two different y values, okay? So no, and whenever you have no, I'd like to have a reason to go with it. So no, x equals 2 pairs with okay? So that's me, or you could say it pairs with more than one y value, okay? All right. So these next two examples, maybe pause the video here, take a look at them, and see if you can tell which one is yes, which one is no, and then if it's no, be able to explain why. Okay, so hopefully you thought about this. For number 3, you can see that the x value of -3 goes to more than one y value. So that is a no for number 3. -3 pairs with -1, but it also pairs with 2. So that's not a function. Number 4 is a yes, because each x value is different. Therefore, there's no x value that's going to 2 different y values. All right, so there are other ways to represent ordered pairs. We can see them in table format, and also we can see them with, these are called mappings. All right, so again, we are searching for x values, making sure that each x value goes to just one y value. So I see on number 5 that 3 for the x value goes to 5, but 3 also goes to 3. So that is a no. All right. And that's because the 3 value goes to 2 different y values. All right, number 6, I can just quickly look at all the x values, and since every single x value is different, well, therefore, each of them are just going to just one y value. It doesn't matter that y of 0 is being used twice, that's fine. But yep, this is a yes. All right, I'll leave it to you guys to try to answer number 7 and 8. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can answer those. All right, I realized that I didn't scroll down far enough for number 8, but I think you could have seen the reason why it's a no. Anyway, 7 is a yes. Each x value is different. All right, so there's no issues with x being any x value being used for 2 different y values. 8 is a no because of 4, the x value of 4. It's going to -3 and 2. Now with the mapping, you don't always get them labeled, but it's assumed that the left side is the domain or the set of x values, and the right side is the set of y values. So like here it's labeled x's, y, but it won't always be labeled. And there really should be arrows going from the left to the right to show that this is the input, it's going into the function, and then the output is what comes out in the set of y's. But though you might not always see that, right? You might not always see the arrow, but just know that we're going from left to right. The x's are on the left, the y's are on the right. Or more officially, these are the set of inputs. Okay. Because technically they don't have to be called x or y. We just do that. I don't know if you can hear my kids in the background or not. Having fun in the garage. Anyway, so looking here, I can see that each x value, there's just one arrow coming out of it, meaning each x value is just going to one of these y values. Notice that 4 is being used more than once, but that's okay, it's a y value. This is a yes. Over here, we have one arrow coming out of -4 to 4, but when you look right here, the x value of -1, it has 2 arrows coming out of it. So that means that -1 is pairing with 0, but it's also pairing up with 7. That's an issue when it comes to being a function, so that is a no. All right, and you can say that x equals -1 pairs of 2. And now for graphs. All right, so again with the graphs, we can do a quick rule of the vertical line test. So let me go ahead and draw a little vertical line. We'll make it a new color so it stands out a little bit more. How about some orange here? All right, so again, you can use a pencil for yours, but a vertical line, remember, is up and down. So we are looking to make sure that as we drag this vertical line across, that we only touch the graph once at any moment. Okay, so here we're good here. Here we are not good. Okay, so because here the x value, this is when x is equal to 1. It has a y value of -1, right? We're gonna get this down 1, but it also has a y value of +2. So that is the issue. So here we would identify that position. Let me get a pen out here. I would just graph it, or if I was going to say in words, it'd be no, and then I would say just what I had said there. X equals 1 pairs with y equals -2 and y equals 2. Okay. Number 12, we can see that as we drag the vertical line across, it's going to touch each of those just once. So that is a yes, that is a function. Number 13, I'll leave to you guys to try out here. Well, I'll move down to the continuous ones. These are called continuous because they're not points separated like they were for 11, 12, 13. All right, anyway, number 14, as I drag a vertical line, it looks like it's good here, but then once we get to this point, it's going to touch a couple spots more than once. So you can see like here and here. And we can say no. There's a little baby. No, because it, and an acceptable way of saying it is it fails the vertical line test, right? No, it fails the vertical line test. And sometimes we can abbreviate the vertical line test VLT. Right. And we know now that failing the vertical line test means it touches the vertical line, or it touches a vertical line more than once. All right, number 15, as we drag, it only touches once at any moment. So that is a yes, that is a function. Okay. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and see if you can answer numbers 13 and 16 correctly. All right, so numbers 13 and 16. 13 is a fail, right, because it touches these 2 points in a vertical line. So we can just say, no, it fails the vertical line test. And if you want to be a little more specific, you can say it fails the vertical line test when x is equal to 1, 2, 3. For 16, this one does pass the vertical line test. It curves, but as you go at any one spot, it touches a vertical line only once. So hopefully this video gives you a little more insight on how to answer the questions on the worksheets that I posted on April 7th. These worksheets, basically each one is a yes or a no. If it's yes, I'm fine if you just write yes. If it's no, I would like an explanation, kind of like I've shown here in this video. All right, good luck. So this video is a review of functions, what they are, and how to identify them given different representations.